Look at this monstrosity. And like, I mean absolute monstrosity. It's huge. I have no idea how, even if we're gonna skin it. I mean, look at it. It's magnificent in its complexity and simplicity at the same time. It's basically the same thing we had yesterday, but with everything moved around slightly and some of the timings changed. Also, I added this bit in the middle, which turns the whole thing on or off at any given time. And with that said, I'm going to go up here. So basically, here is the stone thing. It should work okay. It's technically vanilla. See, this still all functions on vanilla mechanics, with the exception of filling it with wood. But the stone bit is perfectly fine, and that's our tesseract for wood. Just make sure there's some wood in the system. Yep, and there should also be some stone in the system. Alright. Now, this bit, just to explain it, because I haven't used one of these before, it's a mana detector. So if we shoot it with this cool mana gun, which I've been using to turn on and off things, especially this, I actually changed the timing on this to a full minute, because every 10 seconds, getting rid of 4 bread that I wasn't getting back was brutal on the system. So yeah, it's doing well keeping up with it on the minute mark, and yeah, we can just shut it off manually with this if we want. And I'm gonna actually fill up the flint. Let's go 6. It's gonna be more than enough. I'm just gonna throw the rest off a cliff. We just fill the flint every now and again. I may at some point construct a tesseract to pull flint into that thing, but who cares? Right now, what we do care about, though, is testing this monstrosity. So instead of it being double, it's 2 singles next to each other. What ended up happening with the double was this thing's pickup range for items is only actually about 2 blocks, so it can pick up from about there. So unless it was right in the middle, it couldn't pick up both, which is why it didn't work. And the hopper hawk that was putting items into, or putting the stone in, had too large of a range and kept picking up the stone from the bottom. So it just basically it ended up in a feedback loop where it was putting it in, dropping it, and then unable to pick it up or unable to place it before the hopper hawk was picking up. So I've changed this to a hopper hawk petite. It's a little one. It does currently have mana, but I think its mana range is like 2. So it's right under where it needs to go and should be putting things right in where it needs to go. Everything else is pretty much the same. There's 2 mana sources now, just one for the on and off switch, which let's get to now. So basically, other than the mana generation, everything on this should be technically vanilla mechanics, with the exception of I'm using some red alloy wire instead of redstone. So let's fire it up, quite literally. I like this gun, it's very satisfying. So we're going to be waiting 90 seconds for that. Why is that still stopped? Did I do something wrong? That spreader should be aimed at here. Okay, so the spreader was aimed at the wrong area for some reason. That's fine. And this one should fire down there. Ah, this block is in the way. That's the problem. How can I fix that? Do some on-the-fly fixing. If I put the spreader here, can it shoot through that red alloy wire? No, it can't. Alright then, so I've got to do a little detour with the red alloy wire, but this should still function regardless. And then just quickly pop in there and remove that one piece of red alloy wire. Excellent. Is wood not dropping out of this? Okay, it placed the one stone that dropped, but why did no other stone drop? Was this already currently active? No, it should be going. Why are you not functioning? Alright, let's pull this the safe way. Because now we can identify the problem at least. So let's place it there, there, and like so. Just to guarantee that, there we go, now they're receiving signal. They weren't receiving signal before for some reason. Alright. This is gonna suck. Alright, I need to turn this thing off real quick. Be off. Because it needs an initial kind of burst of items. So I need to, I'm gonna wait for those to convert over. We will have this thing working and fully functional. Mark my words. And I like the on-off button, which did turn everything off. Good. Look at this nonsense of particle effects. It's crazy and I love it. Alright. So everything's starting to swap over. Just place that there. Just gonna place down the stuff. Whoop. All right. Now. I need to put that back in there because I'm going to need to reset that timer so that everything else has a fair chance to fall. Alright. Now it should work. That'll change in time. We got 90 seconds till then. I don't know. I put mana stars here. Shrug. So this is now full. It's getting some more backup, which is good. It's going to start using a little bit. I don't know why, and if someone knows the answer to this, every now and again, this won't export toast when it's actually needed in one of the locations. I have to, like, remove a pipe in this area and put it back in. So if anyone knows the answer to that one, I would love to know. Alright. So the piles are starting to get up. Basically, this is set for 10 seconds, so every 10 seconds of that, it drops one of each, which equates to about 8 or 9 dropping in the time period, because this is a 90-second. But that's fine. A little bit of extra never hurt anybody. It's just going to randomly pick one or the other. Alright, and you're just locked, not stopped. Okay. Speaking of, let's lock that. Just in case I accidentally right-click something. Alright, come on. I want to see this thing refill so that I can go and I can tick off that box and it will never have to bother me again. Okay, everything got destroyed. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. Cool. It put priority on stone over wood, but I don't really care. Because eventually it'll run out of stone, and that means, ha! It's fully automatic. This is all vanilla. This bit's all Botania and vanilla, with the exception of, again, using red alloy wire. So the only bits that are not is just putting the mana in, but the mana is not the part. We just needed to automate the daisies. So guess what? It's done. This monstrosity works, and that's what counts. And, yep. So yeah, what's this, like 8 pulse spreaders, a solid 4 Dreamwood ones, some voids to prevent the beams from flying off and destroying stuff, some barrels. Again, this chest would take accept the stuff. I just added an add-on for my own sake. Oh, it's beautiful. And after this next fire, I think I'm going to temporarily turn it off just because I'm not... Well, actually, let's find out how well it functions when not loaded. It may break, and if it breaks, I will be the sad. And that makes 3 fully automated... Well, I guess the runes aren't fully automated. I still need to make the runes, but everything else is pretty much fully automated. Let's go to here. Automate a Pure Daisy using only Botania and vanilla mechanics. So again, the mana's not, but the daisy itself is fully automated. It could be made otherwise. It just would need mana. And my mana of choice, rather than being water, which I have right there, I could technically have used water, is Gormalis's with auto-feeding. I'm labeling it as a win. I went out of my way to make that damn stone thing instead of just making or using a an igneous extruder that would just fire smooth stone into the situation. So I deserve this. And this one's going to be a batch that's a little bit more wood. That's fine. So it's just going to make these 2 things. I'm going to need barrel upgrades for those. Just to prevent them from overflowing. Well, actually, if they overflow, is it really a bad thing? If they go into the chest, eventually the chest would fill up. So yeah, I do need to set up some void stuff. That's fine. That's fine. I can do that. Fence. 16 of those. Wood. Oop, not weed. Whew. We'll just use spruce. And iron. 8. Doot. I've memorized these recipes and it bothers me that I have. Do. Doot. But then again, I like the barrels as like my favorite storage system. Not that the ME system is bad, I like it, it just requires power, which, yeah, I don't always have access to at the moment. That, and it kind of fits more with the Botania theme right now. And then I need... How do I make that void upgrade? Void barrel upgrade. Obsidian and 2 pistons. Alright. Do I have any pistons left in the system? I do. I have 2, but I need 4. Alright. I'm going to fly back to the other island to make them. Because unfortunately, this isn't a crafting terminal. It's just a wireless terminal. So I have the items everywhere, but not the ability to craft everywhere. Actually, I'm curious to wireless signal and wondering if maybe I can actually set up a second ME area with crafting via the wireless signal. Because this is a wireless access point, and I wonder if they can function with each other. Let's change back to redstone flux power units, please. Piston. And it's nice to actually be using this oak wood again. And that's fine. We're going to make as many pistons as we can, which means we're going to run out of something. Uh, 51. That's fine. We ran out of redstone, which we've been using a lot of, so I can't really blame that. 2. I wanted 2, not 3. Doot. Alright, void upgrades. And And we could always put a barrel upgrade in as well if we want more than 64 stacks of either of those, but I can't imagine we're going to need more than that. This is more or less going to be so that we can automate things like mana, or not automate, but always have the stuff ready for mana spreaders and whatnot. Okay, we came just in time to watch some stuff flop over. That's like all wood. I actually need to check this and make sure that this is keeping up. It should kind of maintain that much, because this goes every 10 seconds and that goes every 10 seconds because they're attached to the same timer. So it should keep a consistent amount of stone. Again, though, it's dropping 9 every go, so these piles will fill up at some point, I think. Unless it picks one or the other, at which point then it's just going to swap back and forth. It should be balanced in the long run. Why am I worried about this? Alright. So, planks, iron, give them the void upgrade. Excellent. I've almost contemplated increasing the toast input, like just so it can have more backup. And this is what I mean. See, there's toast in the system, but it's not actually going to there. So I need to, like, fix pipes and update them. Oh, there we go. And I don't know why that happens. I'm thinking I may need to put a chunk loader near this generator just so that it doesn't bugger up like that. Because that's not good. And I'm also I'm wondering if the same thing happens with my the Powerworks is that way. My Powerworks thing. But all right, Botania is automated on 3 fronts. Yeah, that one's an all stone run, so that's fine. It's basically just going to swap and pick 16 random items. I could mitigate that if I moved the wood bit over here and the stone bit over here and then actually had 2 of that flour, so 1 for each of them, but then I might as well just build 2 farms at that point instead of having the 1. I'm fine with it being random and then not filling up the chest. And let's watch the lasers go one more time. I love the lasers. Here they go. Come on. Come on. There they go. And we're gonna have... Looks like wood this time. So it's going to be all wood. So it's just going to swap between them. Oh, it's beautiful. How is this doing? Like I said, I don't really want to be spending my experience on this anymore, but at the same time, I don't really want to be putting more strain on our toast system. Because, I mean, it doesn't cost a lot to keep this open. It's just... as I spend time, like, constructing whole machines, it gets a little bit low, and eventually it would be low enough that I would need to sit here for a while or give it a manual burst. Ah. But yeah, no, we got that mana pool now, or 4 mana pools, actually. Those 4 Gomalises create so much mana that I needed more mana pools. The other bit with that, and I'll show this off in a sec. You see, they fill quickly. Is this one has that alchemy catalyst I made last time so that we could make prismarine. And this one has the green one that does the green thing, which I think you put 1 thing and you get 2. Okay, you put some things in and you get 2. I know reds, let's test it out. I know, what's one that I know? Have that bread. That was yours, I accidentally took it. What is something that I know I can get more than 1 of? I know redstone. Doot. So, yeah, let's do all that. Oh, shit. So let's check the value of this. Again, we got infinite bread. Yeah, see, 1 to 2, so we can just multiply stuff with this if we really want. So if I'm really low on something, I can use all the mana in here to make more of it. And then it's one of the 4 pools, and basically this thing splits it between them. So as things are needed, it will give me more. And I just turned half a stack of redstone into like 3 with that mana pool. Now I think it only puts them in these 2, as these 2 are full, but I'm not 100% sure on how the system works. Anyway though, that's the end of this episode. We got this done, we completed another achievement, and now it's going to be grinding for the Ritual of Gaia at this point. So, just continued grinding to get that Ritual of Gaia done. And basically the recommendation for the Ritual of Gaia is that you have full Elementium armor, which means that I'm going to actually need to make, I think, more Terra Steel in order to make Elementium stuff. And the reason for this is apparently this armor, there's a chance for pixies to apply potion effects and stuff, as well as, yeah. Long story short, oh, so you can mix this with the goggles of revealing. That's useful. Anyway, yeah. So we need Elementium, which I believe is a trade for Mana Steel. We could probably make that armor fairly quickly, but we've also got to do the Ritual of Gaia, which means I need a place for it. And a place for it that is not going to destroy all of the hard work I've got, because I don't know. I know this boss apparently summons pixies and stuff, but that's about all I know. Ritual of Gaia. Yeah, so we need to make more mana pylons, which are going to be, or we need 4. We need to place them like so. So that's going to be what we need to make. So we'll right click it to anchor there. Whoop. So yeah, that's what we need to make somewhere. Right click. Unvisualize. So yeah, I'll need a place for that. I'll probably put it around here just to keep all of the Botania stuff together. Maybe I'll put it in the nether. I don't know. Anyway though, I'm rambling. This thing works. It's a success. There's no tutorial for building it, because screw that. This was hell, and it was a combination of somebody else's idea and a little bit of my... Oh, fuck. And the lava's uncovered, so I can't walk on top of it. Anyway, I'm rambling. Till next time, this will be Isaac Zephyr signing out. And we'll see you all later, heroes.